Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people. So this morning I woke up and the Most High said to me, Sapphire, there are people that are just starting their spiritual journey like you did. They are not sure where they're going. They're not sure who is going to be on the journey with them. Some of them are scared because they've never taken a trip or a journey where they had to be 100% reliant on me and my predecessors and the people that the entities I've created to assist them to be their 100% guiding force. They have been reliant on 3D, material, physical, people, items, ideology for so long that now that they're about to take this spiritual journey, there is a side of them that is fearful or nervous on what's going to be on the other side. So I'm asking you, my daughter, to share with them the beginning of your journey, who you were, what you were, and how you became who you are today. So, in line with the request from the Most High, I am going to share with you guys that prior to starting my spiritual journey of enlightenment and understanding my divine purpose, which is far more important and deeper than my physical purpose on this earth, I went through a lot of hurt and pain. Like most people, I grew up with parents who did the best that they could do with the information that they were given and the practices that they were taught by their own family line. And so I hold no animosity or grudges towards that it could have been executed differently. You know, we live and we learn. So we have a choice. We can hold on to that hurt and pain, or we can facilitate healing and move forward to become who we're supposed to become and accomplish the things we're meant to accomplish, spiritually, physically, materially, okay? Evolving mentally and emotionally as well. So there were 3 suicides in my life, okay, from my freshman year of high school to my senior year of high school. I dealt with a lot of depression, not understanding that I was different from everyone else and that I did have a gift, and that the little voices that I was hearing in my head telepathically were not, I wasn't crazy. The dreams that I used to have as a child of people or entities outside my window of my bedroom looking in on me while I was sleeping. I didn't understand when I was a child that they were looking to protect me and make sure I was okay. As a child, you're very scared of your spiritual gifts because you don't understand where they come from, especially if you have parents who don't have the same gift as you or don't believe that you are experiencing certain experiences. So, like I said, in high school, 3 suicide attempts. Mainly because I thought that if I died, that my parents would change their ways, that they may change their parenting and not parent the same way, or that, you know, if I was going to make them pay by, you know, harming myself. And the first 2 times I went into behavioral health afterwards, stays in behavioral health afterwards, to deal with depression and deal with emotions and how to cope with certain aspects of my emotions. And the third attempt, which was my last attempt, okay, was and will always be my last attempt. The third attempt, I actually died. The first two attempts, I didn't die. Okay. I used prescription drugs I found in my parents' room, calling myself, taking whole bottles of painkillers and whole bottles of muscle relaxants. I must have took about 100 pills each time, because I was like, well, I'm going to up an ante up each time, because I'm going to make them pay for how they've treated me and how they treated my siblings. And maybe they'll change their ways when they realize that they're going to lose one of their children, Unfortunately, I was dealing with narcissists, and the truth of the matter is I could have killed myself, and then, as I was told, life would have went on. They'd have buried me and life would have went on, is what was told to me. And I wish as a child I understood that better, because I probably wouldn't have felt the need to do something so extreme, even though I didn't want to be here and I was ready to go home. And in my head, my thought was, I'm going home to my father, my real father. I don't want to be here with these people. I'm going home to my dad. And that's basically what I, thought at the time when I did it. And they taught us in Catholic school that you go to hell if you commit suicide. But something in me knew that that wasn't real. That's not true. You don't go to hell. I'm going to go home. I don't know where everybody else is going, but I'm going home. And so I used to say to myself, I'm a fallen angel and being here is punishment, because I was so different. So my third attempt, I died. And they got me into the hospital. They called the ambulance. They got me to the hospital. And they were working on me, trying to resuscitate me. And they were working on me for close to 25, 28 minutes, I think my dad said. And he said that they told him, the doctor came out of the room while they continued to do compressions and, try and give me oxygen and get a pulse. And the doctor came to tell him, that even if they got me back at this point, my brain had gone without oxygen for over 20 minutes, without my heart pumping it itself. And so even if they were to get me back, they couldn't guarantee the state of the quality of life that I would have, whether I would not have brain damage or I would have brain damage, whether or not I would be incapacitated in some shape or form. And my father said, as the doctor was explaining this to him, making him feel as though he basically was asking for permission to stop working on me, they got a pulse. And I came back. I was in a coma for 3 days. I woke up 3 days later. And when I woke up, I started to proceed to just pull tubes out. Because it's a horrible feeling to feel those tubes in your throat when you can breathe on your own. So I woke up and just started pulling tubes out. And I was ready to go home. I was like, this is crazy. And they asked me if I knew where I was. I couldn't talk, of course. My throat was sore from the tubes that were in it and everything. And I left there and went back into behavioral health again. And what people didn't understand was my attempts were to get away from my oppressors. Nobody understood that. Nobody understood that. And so here I am going through therapy and, going to behavioral health, when in my opinion, the narcissists and the people who need the help are the ones that need to be in these facilities. But here I am being groomed to go back to my oppressors and narcissists and being taught how to tolerate them and how to deal with them and cope with their treatment of me. And I realize that now when I look back. I do. I realize that now, that sometimes we are being groomed to deal with people who mistreat us, being taught how to cope with people who make us feel less than, who tear us down and don't build us up. And that is no way to live your life. No way. Okay? So after that last attempt, I still struggled to fit in and deal with people on a 3D human level, not understanding myself and what I was feeling, what I was seeing, what I was sensing. And I remember praying to God, you got to give me a reason to stay here. I had a dream about 6 months after that suicidal attempt. And in the dream, I saw myself hovering over my body at the hospital, and they were working on me. And I was looking down at my body like, thank God I'm out of that bitch. I'm out of here. I am out of here. I am going into the light. And I couldn't see what it was, but behind me, I felt this extreme warmth on the back of my spirit. And so I knew there was a presence back there. And the presence says, you have to get back into your body. And I said, no, not doing that. Do you know what I had to do 3 times to finally get out of that shit? No, I'm not getting back in there. And they very sternly said, you have to get back into your body. It's not an option. You have a purpose, and the purpose must be fulfilled. And I said, I don't understand. Why must I be made to go back and suffer? Why must I be made to go back and endure the mistreatment and the abuse? Like, I just can't believe like this. I just don't get it. And they said, you will, but you have to get back into your body. You have to get back in now. And my thought in my head is, this is so funny because remember, I'm getting this as a vision, but the thought in my head when they said that was, okay, fine. I will be obedient. I will get back in my body. I'll just do this again. As soon as I thought it, like I didn't even say it, I thought it. They said to me, if you attempt to do this again, we will make you a quadriplegic. You will not die. Now you have a choice. You have a purpose and you must be here. So you have a choice. You can get back in your body and stay there, or you could do this again and you will have no body functionality from your neck down. And I said, oh, well, needless to say, you see me sitting here today. Hello. And I never tried to commit suicide again because I took very seriously what was told to me. And I knew that if I attempted to take my life again, that would be the easy way out, and that they would make me a quadriplegic. I have no doubts in my mind. And so I proceeded to spend a lot of time in therapy, group therapy as a teenager, dealing, having a lot of other friends who were in therapy. I spent life in therapy as an adult, trying to cope with all the people around me that were so negative and so low vibration and just so set in their way of thinking and living life, and trying to force me into that ideology as well. And I finally just realized how beat up I was. And I realized that the churches that I was going to, the faith that I was putting into these establishments was not feeding me. It wasn't helping me. It was giving me a Band-Aid to help me get through day by day, but not helping me to excel above what I was dealing with. And so I walked away from the churches and I decided to start my own Bible study. Because I thought maybe if I just bring a whole bunch of like-minded people around me that have been in the church and felt that the church has not helped them excel in their understanding and gain more clarity into who they are, that maybe if I start this Bible study, because I said, I know I'm not a pastor, but maybe I'll start this Bible study. and we can hash these ideologies around, and we can meet once a week, and it'll be cool to have like fresh ideology besides the drones that just sit in church every Sunday listening to whatever somebody else teaches, never seeking the knowledge for themselves or seeking any understanding for themselves, but just letting somebody else drill their gospel into their head and make it their gospel instead of going out and trying to ascertain what is my own gospel for myself. I called up a friend, and she invited me to go to a new church in Newcastle, Delaware, Prophetic House of Truth Outreach. And I told her, you know what? Okay, fine. I'll go. When I visited the church, it's a house of prophets. I'd never believed in anything like that because we don't talk about those things in the Catholic Church, and I was raised in Catholic school. So when I got there and I saw this assembly, it's like a Hebraic assembly, and there was a microphone up front, and you can ask questions and you could give testimonies, and in the middle of service you just stand up at the mic and he'll acknowledge you. I mean, it was just like a school, and that was perfect for me. Virgo, I need a school. I need to learn, so it created a assembly that was more like a classroom environment, and I loved it. And the first time I went, they prophesied over me, and I'm going to share with you today what they said to me. And I'm sharing it with you because Spirit says that I need to share with you where I was when I started this journey, because some of you are starting this journey and it's totally different out of the scope of what you know and what you understand from your upbringing, your childhood, what society has drilled into your head. It is completely a blank slate. But a lot of you need to hear the same message that was given to me years ago. You need to hear it today. And that's why I'm going to share with you. Apostle Raymond Stansberry is one of them. I call him my pops. Okay. I went to prophet school with him and got permission and blessing from him to start teaching prophets and training prophets, which is how I started prophet school here, the Sapphire Dragonfly Prophet School, and how I ended up doing the spiritual gift development class. Okay. I hope that in sharing what they said to me, that helped me understand that my pain and everything I'd gone through, the mistreatment, being taken advantage of, being physically broken down, being used, abused, taken for granted, all of it meant something. All of it was leading to something great. Not only in my life, but in the life of other people. And I needed to hear that all the men that I had relationships that I loved and tried to do right by, that them mistreating me and not valuing me or taking me for granted was not going to be in vain. All the people that I gave money to, that I lent money to, that I helped, that I pulled out, that I fed, that I did things for, over and over again, being taken advantage of, having my time stolen, my money stolen, the tears that I cried and the hurt and the pain from the misuse and abuse of me and my love and my encouragement and positivity and helping others, it all was going to lead to something great. Not just for myself, but for others. So I share this prophecy with you from my brothers and sisters, from the Prophetic House of Truth Outreach in Newcastle, Delaware. And this is the very first time I had ever been prophesied over in my life. And I had no idea that that day would be the first day of my life, and that it would spark something on my path that would lead me to where I am here in front of you guys. And so now teaching you and helping you, and I am more fulfilled than I could ever be. I love you guys, and I hope that this message, even though it was spoken to me years ago, I hope that you will imagine that it's being spoken to you today, because this is what it's all about. This is what some of you need to hear. And you might not get it from your mothers or your fathers. You might not get it from your husbands and your wives. You might not get it from your friends or your children. So I'm going to give it to you right here. All right? Here we go.
Ready? How you doing? I hear the spirit of Ananias saying there is becoming a new beginning for you. There's coming some things in your life that are going to transition, and they're transitioning for your better. And he wants to let you know that he wants to take you to a higher place in him. There are some things he knows he's hearing you bring before him, and he's going to answer them. But he's saying this time he wants to deal even more with you. And in this more of this transitioning, it's a new beginning. He said, receive the new beginning. Be joyful in the new beginning, because it's going to bring you even closer to him. Thus saith the spirit of Ananias.
I hear the spirit of Yahweh saying, yes, it's going to work out. Everything is going to be all right. But I need you to consistently be in communication with me. Always. Even at the traffic light. God, I thank you. Because it could be worse than this. Even when somebody cuts you off, begin to pray. God, I thank you that I didn't have an accident because they were not acting properly or they was acting crazy. Thank you for keeping me. But I just hear him saying, yes, it's going to work out in your favor. Don't lose who you are in the process. I hear him saying that you are a giving person. You are loving. And a lot of times people mistake your kindness for a weakness. But I hear the spirit of Yahweh saying, in me you are strong. There are times that you gotta bite your tongue till blood drips out, because you won't hurt anybody, but you'll take it on. And it's almost like you walk around like this. You got everything on you. Everything's on you. And you're trying to worship, and you try to go to church, and you try to, hey, how you doing? I'm wonderful. But inside, but you're like this. And I just hear the spirit of Yahweh saying, cast your cares upon me, daughter. Cast your cares upon me, because I care for you. I am not missing anything that's going on in your life. But I need you to trust and know that I am behind the scenes working this thing out for you. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. It doesn't matter how it feels. Know that I am God and I am there. Every time it feels like they're slapping you across your face, I'm turning your head back like this. And I'm soothing you. And I'm loving on you. Because you're going to be victorious through this thing. And when you get done, share the story of how you made it over. Share the story of how you kept your head up even though it was hurting so bad on the inside. Because you're going to reach women. That's your ministry. That's why it hurts so bad. Because years from now, there's someone growing up now, some young person growing up now, and it's a teenager. In a few years, she's going to be a young woman. And she's going to be put in your path. She's going to be put in your life for you to minister to her through this. So I hear him saying, I am taking care of this thing. I need you to lift your head up, remove some of the weight, and know that I'm taking care of you. Because there's a purpose in this thing for you. And it is that young woman that is growing up now. Because your paths are going to meet. And you're going to change her life with your testimony, with your story. I just hear him saying, keep your head up. I love you. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. I just hear him saying, keep your head up and drop the weights. There's a purpose through this. But don't lose who you are in the process. Thus saith the Spirit of Yahweh.
I hear the Spirit of Adonai saying for you, it's your time now. He says you have placed other people before you for so long that it's your time now. He said he's tired of you being tired of doing, being tired of hearing, being tired of just the same old thing of really not moving forward. He said you're tired of the naysayers, and he's shutting them up because you've heard too much of here, you've heard too much here, and it's been negative. And he said he needs you to get to a place where you're around positive people, where you're in a positive surrounding, where you're hearing things that are going to impart into you instead of take from you. He said right now you would be in a better place if you were to just cut off those naysayers and the people that spoke into you. Because it's been like there's been more people that have spoken down that have been building you up. And what's so deep is that he says, even though those people put you down, you still never changed your heart towards everyone. You're still the same. You still remain the same. And you have a heart for the people, even though they come at you crazy. He says, don't change who you are because people try to come against your character. Because you've never showed anybody any other side than what we're seeing right now. So he says, thank you. But I hear him saying, in this year of your life, he's going to allow you to see things and see places you have never seen before because your heart was right. And because you didn't say what you were thinking, you remained calm. Your attitude and the way you are is blessing the multitude of the people. Because you could have instantly said, what? You could have instantly said what you were thinking and you didn't. You changed people's way of thinking because you didn't say what you were thinking. You show people that there really is a God, that she really does serve somebody awesome because you let her talk to you like that and you didn't say anything. You show them that there is a light at the end of this dark tunnel that you've been in for so long. So Adonai wants me to tell you today, even if you believe that you've forgiven them people over the years, he wants you to say it out of your mouth on this day that they are forgiven. That you're no longer holding them here and everywhere else. Because some people have really hurt you. And it's even like you think on it today. Sometimes you may go places or somebody may say something and it takes you right back to what they've said. But he said he doesn't want you to linger there anymore because lingering there can't take you where he wants you to go. Because where he's taking you is a place of greatness, is a place of peace, is a place where you can have complete peace, which is shalom, shalom. So he's speaking shalom, shalom over you right now, starting in your mind all the way down. Because you have that peace in you. And it's like, you ever see those bags, those little bags, the wobble bags? People punch you and you wobble, but you never fall down. And that's what people hate about you, because they can say and do stuff and you're still standing. And Yahweh says you're going to continue to stand. You're going to continue to be the example for the people who didn't think that you could be where you are right now. So he says, be encouraged. Be encouraged because you're going great places. And those people who spoke negative to you, he's going to use you to speak back into their life. Speak life back into their life. So he said you have to be completely free of the people of old so you can minister to them when you're in that place where he needs you to be. And he says you're going to do it. It's fine. But you need it in your mind to know that you can be there soon. But he says, thank you for not changing. Thank you for being who you are. And he salutes you today. He is very pleased. Very pleased. Thus saith the Spirit of the Most High Yah.
I hear the Spirit of the Most High saying, when I tell you something, he said, don't question it. Is that really you? Is that what you're saying? He said, don't question it. He said, I told you the same thing over and over again. You keep saying, are you sure? Is that right? He said, do what I said. He said, and then you won't be hurt as much if you obey me the very first time. He said, because there's some folks trying to bless and told you loud. He said, don't do it. And you said, but they need something. They need it. And then you get hurt afterwards. He said, this time, hear my voice and obey what I say. He said, and you won't go wrong. He said, but things are about to change. And he said, know that his hand is on your life. And that you will, don't worry, you're not stagnant. You're not stagnant. It feel like you're not moving, nothing's, yes. But he said, know that he has you at a place that he's talking to you. But just enjoy it, because it won't be this way all the time. That's why you be saying, I don't want to rest. No, so just enjoy this time right here. All right? Thus saith the Most High. Bless you.
Thank you guys for allowing me to share with you that message, which I feel that applies to many of you today. And just right now in this period of where you are in your life, I thank you for allowing me to be your guide, your teacher, and help you in understanding your path, your purpose, where you're headed, and also in helping you understand that all the trials and tribulations, the pain, the financial issues, the addictions, the broken hearts, being used, misused, being taken advantage of and not being valued by various people, places, situations, they all mean something. Not saying that you were meant to go through them, but they all mean something. And it will, I promise, in the end, when you understand who you are and what you are, you will see how all of it has played a part to get you to that point. No matter how good, no matter how good or bad it is. When I went through my divorce, I thought that it was going to be the end of my life. I thought that I was a failure. But what I realized was I was actually a victor that day, because I took back my power, my purpose, my life, and I gave myself meaning that no other person on the face of the earth could give me. So I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Sapphire out.